The following program is brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization. Use of any firearm without proper training in safety and firearm usage is extremely dangerous. It is highly recommended that anyone owning or using a firearm attend a certified firearms safety course and practice proper firearm procedures. The views and opinions expressed on the K-Gun Show are those of the individuals and does not reflect the views and opinions of the K-Gun Show, R&R Firearms, or Talkwad Studios.
Straight from Talkwad Studios in beautiful sunny Tampa, Florida, this is the K-Gun Show. The Second Amendment needs our voice. We bring you the latest information about all firearms while revisiting some of the true classics in the industry. We are NRA certified instructors, and as always, safety and education is our first priority. The K-Gun Show is brought to you by R&R Firearms.
Good evening. It is 8 p.m. on Wednesday, and my name is Catherine K. Guns.
Good evening, Catherine.
I've been a firearms instructor since 2010, and wow, it started way back. I've been around firearms for about 15 years, and I took a CWP course, and in that 4 hours, I learned more than I did in all the 15 years of handling firearms, and that's kind of where I ended up today. So, how you doing this evening, JR?
I'm doing great. And I've been around firearms since I was about 10 years old when my father, grandfather, and great-grandfather took me out hunting. They taught me the basics of hunting and respecting the firearms. Since then, I've taken several courses, and now I am a certified NRA instructor, just like Catherine. I hold several license to carries in several states. And, we love firearms. And one thing my grandfather and father taught me was that, gun safety and respect for landowners. And one thing that we respect for landowners is a lot of landowners, a lot of people are not respecting the landowner's property and they're leaving trash around when they go hunting. And, that's a bad thing. And, when you walk into somebody's property, you have the privilege of hunting on the piece of property. You got to respect that piece of property and make sure you clean up after yourself. And even if you see a Coke can sitting on the ground and you didn't put it there, and you should pick it up. You always should leave a piece of property in better condition than when you walked into it. And that's just respect to the owners. And as long as you continue to respect the property owners, we'll continue to have hunting rights in this state.
That's absolutely awesome. We have a few things that we would like to share with you viewers, that we are trained.
We are professionals.
So don't try this at home. We have a few safety gun rules, too, that we always want to cover. So we're going to let JR take over on that.
Yeah. Just a few to review that are common. The three biggest firearm safety rules that everybody should remember is always keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction, always keep your fingers off the trigger until ready to shoot, and always keep the gun unloaded until ready to shoot. And now we're going to give a few more tips that Catherine's going to give us.
Yeah, it's actually on NRA's top 10. So they're the additional rules to actually consider. And it's kind of like almost common sense, but it needs to be put out there. Know your target and what's beyond it. Just because you can't see what's beyond it doesn't mean that ammunition, the bullet, can actually travel past that. You also should know how to use and handle your gun safely by doing functions checks, clean your gun regularly, and make sure that you know how to use it safely. Be sure that the gun is safe to operate and use the correct ammunition for the gun. Never use alcohol or over-the-counter prescription drugs before or while shooting.
and that's a biggie. We all seen all the westerns where everybody goes to the bar, drink up, and then go outside and shoot off their 6-shooter. And that's not a very safe situation. So, yeah, alcohol you should never use. My great-grandfather would never go hunting with somebody that's drinking alcohol. That was his big thing. Once you get back to the cabin, if you want to have a few drinks, all for it. But never use alcohol during a gun exercise.
Absolutely. And if you shoot straight up in the air, well, what comes up must come down. And also store your guns safely so that they're not accessible to unauthorized people. JR, who is an unauthorized person?
Anybody that you don't want touching your firearm.
Absolutely.
As in your kids, someone you don't know. I mean, anybody you haven't given permission to touch your firearm is an unauthorized person.
Absolutely. Simplified. Anybody but you.
That's right. And you got to be careful about that because most states have a law that if you are in a home that has children, that firearm must be locked up when not in your possession. So, it's very important to keep your firearms locked up and safe from other people that you don't want using your firearm.
Absolutely. And it kind of goes back to, I get this question all the time. Why keep the gun unloaded until ready to use it? Well, the best way that I could ever clarify that is if it's not in your possession on you, then you should keep it unloaded. Because if it's at home loaded in a drawer, you're not around it. That doesn't mean that somebody can't access it, maybe sit and wait for you, or maybe one of the kids finds it and gets hurt. That's a big deal.
And if you are carrying your firearm, then you are ready to shoot, so therefore you can have it loaded and ready to go. Some people fight about that. Well, I'm carrying my gun all around the town. I'm not ready to use it. Well, yes, you are, because it's on you. It's in your possession, so you are ready to use it. So therefore, you can keep it loaded.
That's right. Wait, bad guy. Give me a second to load my gun.
Right.
So today's product review, we're going to check out MSB concealment holsters. And so this is going to be really great. Mike Brandon is in the house.
Yes, he is. And we're going to take a short break here in a second, and we'll bring him on. But before we do that, let's. What else do we have in today's show?
If we actually end up having time, because this is so exciting, he brought a lot of stuff, and we're going to cover a lot of things about these custom-made holsters. But if we do have time, we're going to cover some things like NRA and going to Indianapolis this past weekend, and the Senate bill that makes records confidential. So those are some of the things we're going to cover. And then we'll be right back in just a bit, because we're proud to have R&R Firearms as our sponsor.
Yes, we are.
And this is their commercial.
R&R Firearms is a retail store located in St. Petersburg, Florida, giving our customers the time and education they need to make buying a firearm a safe and easy transaction. R&R Firearms also provides NRA training courses. Stop by our store in St. Petersburg, Florida at 1411 16th Street North, or visit our website at www.rrfirearms.com. That's rrfirearms.com.
All right, we're back.
We are.
Yes.
Welcome back.
This is Mike Brandon. He is the CEO of MSB Concealment Holsters.
Correct.
And, wow, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I come from a long background of shooting. I've been shooting pretty much most of my life. I've recently got into some competition shooting, done a little bit of that. But the conception of MSB Concealment Holsters started a few years ago, actually. I had bought an LC9, and I didn't have a holster that fit me properly. All these other will-fit holsters that were out there and all that just didn't feel right. So I decided to try to make one myself. I got a little bit of Kydex material, checked out some things online and some things like that, and created a holster. And it took me a few weeks to perfect it, but I finally wound up perfecting it. and I actually took it by to one of the local gun stores that from my area, which is out in the Tampa, Brandon area, and the gun shop owner, Bob Brooks of Smooth Action Firearms, really liked it, and he thought that was quite a nice little thing I'd done. So he said, if you make some more of these, we could probably sell them. So I was like, hey, sounds like a pretty good idea,
Sounds like a business plan.
Yeah, So
And this is the material you're talking about, right?
That's part of the material I'm talking about. Correct, absolutely. This
And
is
comes in several different colors, correct? Right?
actually comes in quite a few different colors. That material there is the Kydex material. That's actually a Holstex material.
Okay.
I have just quite a plethora of material here.
Yes, we do.
This is a carbon fiber type look, sort of a grayish kind of carbon fiber look. I also have
Right up to the camera.
Yeah, put it right.
okay. I also have the digital camo, which actually comes in several different colors. This is the forest green digital camo. This is my multicam, which comes in a couple different colors also.
We'll just slide one over.
And it's very light. I mean, even the full sheet,
Yes.
it's a very light
Yes,
material.
absolutely. This
Something
is
that you want to wear all day long.
something that you can certainly wear all day long. This is just sort of a gray. This is a gunmetal gray color that we have.
And this is probably your
Also,
most common, right?
This is my absolute most popular. This is a black. Let's see if we can get it shine on the camera just right. This is a black carbon fiber look, and this is my most popular. I do just about most all of my holsters are done in this black carbon fiber.
Something for the ladies.
Some for the ladies, absolutely. Some purple here. We also have some
for the deadheads?
For the deadheads, we got skulls.
That's totally cool.
We got skulls. We can do anything you want to.
And another one for the ladies.
Another one for the ladies, bright pink. This also comes in a digital pink.
Oh, that's cool.
Or actually in a camo. A
camo pink?
So you can get a camo pink.
Like Cabela's pants, camo
Right.
pink.
Absolutely, something like this, except in pink.
There's also a huge advantage to having a pink holster, where
Right,
sometimes when
nobody
people,
will ever see it.
that's right, for hunting, but also in cases of concealment as well, if you think about it, because if somebody says they saw your gun, you'd ask them, well, can you describe it? And the pink holster is probably going to be the thing that stands out
Right.
the most. If they can't say anything about that, then
They can't describe the gun, then
That's
they can't
right.
say it's a gun. So this way you can, actually I can make one for different outfits. If you have a blue outfit on today, we can make one for you in blue. If you have a red outfit on, we can make one for you in red.
And Mike, you came out to my shop last Friday night in downtown St. Pete, and this is the material, and you gave me a sample one for my Glock, which
did.
I've been carrying all week long since Friday. I normally carry my Smith & Wesson 380, but since you give me this holster, I've carried the Glock, and it's a nice fit. You can see that it films right to the Glock, very light. And I've tested it several times, practice drawing, and the holster stays put. And as everybody knows, here in Florida, the last couple of days it's been hot.
Yes.
Summer's here in Florida, and it hasn't sweat on me. It hasn't gotten real hot like your normal leather. Definitely gets to start bothering you and start sweating.
Right.
So I'm liking this holster, and I'm carrying a 15-round clip in it. It is obviously empty right now because we are in demo stage. And just to let everybody know, we did check all the guns that we're showing today with all the holsters. Was verified by all three of us that the guns are unloaded, so everybody is safe. We do follow the NRA safety tips as far as no ammunition in any classroom. So anytime we have guns on the K-Gun show, there's no live ammunition in the room. So everybody is protected. But back to the holsters.
Yes. Yes, this is one of my holsters. This is my most popular holster, actually. This is an inside the waistband holster.
Yes.
This is actually made for the Glock 19. It fits in there nice and snugly. Good retention.
great test
Won't
right there.
slip
That
out.
says a lot.
Right. The clip that I use on this is actually about 1.25 inches, so that
Right.
gives you a really good solid purchase across the top of your belt. And the clip is actually quite quite snug, so it's not going to slip out on you. The clip is actually curved up under about 6 degrees so that when you do draw the weapon from the holster, it catches on the belt
Right.
and pulls it out quite easily.
And you
it'd
can
be
make it
highly-
at different angles too, from what I read, to whatever the customer likes.
So
Correct.
changing the canter.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
You can, if you want to carry it with a cant to it, you can actually tilt the weapon forward just a little bit, or you can have it a straight draw, such as this,
Yep.
which is most popular is the straight draw. So you
Yeah,
can
the
just pull it
straight draw,
out.
which is
Correct.
what I prefer actually.
Yeah, I think they also recommend using a very good belt when you're carrying holsters anyways, because we were discussing that earlier with you, that you'd carried it for, a few days, and
Right.
you noticed a little bit of wobble in it, but it
And
was
that's because I had
you need a sturdier belt.
And now that I know, I'm going to go out and buy a thicker belt and
Right.
Try it.
Yeah, all
but
my
as
hol-
he has told me, he can actually make it with a smaller loophole loop. So if you are carrying smaller belts, that you can make a smaller hole.
That is correct.
Custom fit all the way.
That's right.
Now a lot of my buddies carry this similar holster. They have a lot of my buddies carry the Glock 19. It's a very popular firearm, and so a lot of carry this, and a lot of people have good comments about this. Tell me the difference between this particular holster and yours, and why they should think about upgrading to your holster.
Well, this particular holster, this is a paddle holster.
Yep.
It slips inside the belt. This is for outside the waistband carry. These particular type of holsters, I'm not real fond of these because they snap off real easy, especially with these particular ones. These are little plastic rivets that are on here. You get this snagged inside of a car and it pops right off.
And all your rivets are metal, so they're not
All
going
of
to
my
snap.
rivets, all of my fasteners are metal. My rivets are brass, so they're not going to corrode. My fasteners here are all black oxidized, so they're not going to rust or corrode. These are held in there firmly. They're not going to snap off on
Gotcha.
you. I've been doing this now for a couple of years, and I have not replaced one yet.
That is absolutely
Every single
awesome.
one has lasted up to this point. So.
And you have I believe I heard you have a conversion kit to convert that to an outside of the holster.
Well, actually, that's for my inside. That's for my outside the waistband holster, which is this one here. This one is for a Smith & Wesson
Yep.
M&P. These guns have all been safety checked. Everything is clear. This is my outside the waistband holster. You wear this here.
Gotcha.
And the way that they're designed, they're molded around so that
Okay.
you get, instead of having something sticking out on you, it's going to be rounded, such as this.
So you would sit just about right here. At the 3 o'clock is probably about the best position to carry a firearm, whether you're right-handed or left-handed at 3 o'clock. Yeah, I like it. It's very low profile. That's an excellent fit.
Yep. So these all have the belt loops that are in back. This particular one has an adjustable belt loop on it. So if you want to add cant to it, you just merely loosen these screws, drop this up a little bit, and now you've got about a 6-degree cant.
Absolutely.
Nice.
But the clips that you were referring to are like this. You can take that outside the waistband holster, remove these belt loops from the back,
Yep.
and replace them with this clip. This clip
And now it's an
fastens
inside.
on there. Now it's a tuckable inside the waistband holster.
2-in-1.
So
Nice.
you attach the clip here on the bottom.
Yep.
Okay. One here and then one here. So now you have
Tuckable.
it tuckable inside the waistband. And it's super sturdy because now you have two clips
Two
holding
clips,
it
right.
holding it in place. So it's
And that
not
probably makes it
gonna
very
rock.
comfortable too.
I'm actually going to try
Exactly.
that out and see. Well, he's got a little
Well,
bit
got-
on there,
got
but I
those on
probably
there,
wouldn't be
right.
able to feel. Oh my goodness, that's great because a lot of women, and this is I get this question a lot. Women ask me where do they carry their firearms, and some people I've heard them say suggesting purses, but I never suggest that because if the bad guy gets your purse, then he's got your gun.
That's right.
So, but a lot of women wear tight clothing,
Yes.
and I'm actually wearing tight clothing right now, and this is actually extremely comfortable. I want this, so that works out really good, and it's in a great position. Yeah, that is awesome. So then that belt clip would secure it
Yeah,
tight.
and this clip
Mm-hmm.
will clip in over the top of the pants, clip underneath the belt,
Right.
and then it has a space in the bottom of it so that you can tuck your shirt in.
Oh, so you're
Very
talking
nice.
about like tucking it in, just about like that, or
Tuck
tuck.
it actually into the
You
cloth.
can
Right,
actually
'cause you-
tuck the firearm. Oh wow! Isn't
Exactly.
that great? You wouldn't be able. Yeah, you know what? You really cannot see the bulk in that. And even if I have my firearm, because if I change the canter, the grip rides alongside the rib cage, so you wouldn't be able to see it.
Which is
And
perfect
that's-
for that formal event where you're tucking your shirt in and wearing a tie for the guys also. I mean, a lot of guys don't wear a firearm because, they don't have a good way to conceal that firearm when they got a suit on.
That is
and
excellent.
This solves that problem.
That is correct. Yes.
And what do you have for those people that 15 rounds in that one clip is not enough?
Well, we have mag pouches. We have a mag pouch. We
do.
have mag pouches that can also do the same thing. Also hook on the back here to put your belt in here, and they're also rounded and molded,
Right.
so that when you put it on, you have a tight-fitting shirt or what have you. It's not going to be sticking out. It's going to be pulled in close to the body and be able to mold. And this is the
Could use that for competition shooting. Absolutely. Yeah.
absolutely.
And as an NRA instructor, I just made a boo-boo, so I am putting $1 in the jar because I called it a clip instead of a magazine, which we all know it's not.
That is
so
correct.
there's my $1 for that jar.
I think we voted too. How many times I say awesome in a show,
That's
I have
right.
to put it in there, and I think I did too. So I owe $2 to that jar.
Yes. So,
And at the end of 12 weeks, we'll donate that to some charity. We'll donate all those dollars to some charity
There you
at the
go.
end of 12 weeks.
hey, why not give it to the NRA?
There you go.
Absolutely.
That's a
I
good
think
choice.
that's
NRA
good.
needs every dollar we can give them.
That's right.
Absolutely. That's so important to become an NRA member. And you can do that easily by going either to their website or you can go to any firearms instructor, which can actually get you a discount,
That's right.
especially going to R&R Firearms.
That's right. We love to sign up new NRA members. We love giving them a discount, and you'll take care of them. And there's tons of benefits from the NRA. You can get life insurance through the NRA. You can get car insurance through the NRA. There's so many things, so many benefits of joining the NRA besides helping the gun rights.
That's exactly right.
Cool. I see down here you've got even...
See some
we-
green things.
Yeah, we've talked
Yes.
about all of these colors, but you have not talked about this one yet.
Yes,
so I'm
this
very
is.
curious.
I've just started creating the zombie apocalypse has been in effect for quite some time, but I'm just sort of getting on board now. This is I call this one my zombie killer.
It's super tight.
Is that the newest one you were showing me?
That's one of the newest ones that I have. This particular one fits a Glock 19.
Wow. And it was really, being that if it was in the pants, this is not going to fall out.
Oh no,
There's no way.
absolutely not. That's not going to fall
It's
out.
really,
And is that one convertible also to the?
That one is also convertible to and inside the waistband. Correct.
that is so cool. It's clear. I like
That's
that.
why you can see the firearm through it.
Yeah, that is just really cool.
That's good for something when you carry like at the range or something like that. It's
You
got
wanna
that.
look cool
It's got that
and-
wow and that cool factor
Yeah.
to it. That's what I like to call it, the cool factor.
Well, even if you're working in I had a guy that was working at a gold store, and he used to carry his as well because it was considered private property. He was protecting it. This would really stand out and say, "Don't mess with me."
Exactly.
I guarantee you, Catherine, if you wear that at the range, people are going to come up to you and ask you, where'd you get that cool holster?
Oh yeah, I've never seen one like this before. This is really, really neat.
So you got to make
Yeah.
sure you have some business cards on it so we can get them.
Absolutely.
Get them handed out.
And this is my newest one. This is my newest creation. This I call my zombie annihilator.
Nice.
What's the caliber
What size
on that? I
inch
just gotta
barrel is
know.
that?
This is a Ruger GP100 357 Magnum. This will certainly eliminate any zombies that happen to walk in the path of this bullet.
Yes, that's for sure.
And it certainly be able to tell that you have something in there.
Yeah,
right.
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Just the visual effects alone is going to scare people off.
Yes. Well, it'll also let them know that, hey, look, something bright. There's a weapon inside.
Right.
This is
Stay
actually,
back.
Yeah, this is valuable for, I don't know if we've already covered that part, but even hunting in the woods, the brightness.
Yes. I have a.
Especially if you take the pink, make that
pink.
a pink with
Right.
the white.
I can also get it in safety orange,
Safety orange.
so that if you are in the woods, like say for instance something like this, you'd probably use up in say Alaska. You know, get
Right.
a 454 Casull in there, or something that you're going to be working, or 460 Smith and Wesson, something for the bears or whatever.
Right. Or if you're actually, you're out hunting, you need a backup gun when you're out in those woods.
And well, with the safety orange, not only with your orange vest or your orange cap, but you also have something on there that says, "Hey, I got a weapon."
Right.
That's really, really, really cool.
All of these holsters are available on my website. You can order them through my website at msbconcealment.com.
And you're going to owe us $1 because you called it a weapon.
I called it a weapon? Yeah. I owe it $1?
Yes, you owe $1 because you called it a weapon.
I called it a weapon.
It's not a weapon, it's a firearm.
Oh, okay. This is true. It is a firearm. This is correct. Okay, I owe it
So
$1.
we're adding up the money today.
We are.
Who knows? By the end of the show, we may have quite a big donation.
That's right, exactly.
Wow. So we're going to actually, if there's any callers out there that would actually like to call in and ask Mike any questions, the phone number to call in would be 813-440-6570. Also, if you wanted to Skype in, that number is 813-235-0644 so that we can actually see you if you wanted to be a part of the show.
Sounds good. Now, Mike, what is the retail cost on your standard Glock in the holster, in the pants holster?
These start at about $49.95, $50 for an inside the waistband holster. And then some of the other materials, the more extravagant materials, some of the camo patterns, they're a little bit more because they cost me more. So
Gotcha.
right, they run a little bit more. These run about $50. The mag pouches are about $30.
Yep.
The outside the waistband holsters, these run about between $60 and $65. The conversion clips
Yep.
are $15.
Yeah, all very reasonable. I mean, all your good, well-known holsters out there are going to cost about the same amount of money, if not more. So you're right in the ballpark, price-wise, to be very competitive against your competitors.
All my holsters are custom made. I'm not some fancy schmancy place that manufactures thousands of holsters every 10 minutes. I do them all one at a time. They're all hand fit. All the edges are sanded down, smoothed out,
Yep.
and they're all buffed. Because you're going to be having this thing on all day long.
Right.
You don't need any rough edges. You don't need anything that's going to chafe, anything that's going to chap anything, or anything that's going to cause any type of irritation.
Yep. And there was no irritation. Like I said, I've worn mine since Friday when you gave it to me. If I was awake outside the house, I was wearing mine. And never did I get poked or any sharp edges.
Right.
It was a very comfortable feel the whole time.
Made for movement.
Yes,
I mean,
it was.
You really considered it all the way through because I've seen other brands, and I'm not trying to knock any of the other brands, but some of the holsters, you really get what you pay for. I always say invest in a quality holster because some of the holsters that run anywhere from $9.99 and up, they're flimsy and they only make it, I don't know, maybe a week or two before they just get like sweat encrusted and
Absolutely. I
and
mean, if
start
you're going
messing
to
up
invest
the-
in, several $100s or even sometimes thousands of dollars in a firearm, buy a good holster that's going to last you and protect that firearm. You don't want to lose the firearm because you bought a cheap holster, or you don't want to be able to use the firearm because you bought a cheap holster.
Yeah, you can't put a price tag on life when you
That's
think
right.
about it. You need to be able to access it quickly and be able to, I love my gun. I don't want it to
I
get
love my
rusted
gun too,
or
and I don't want
anything
it
either.
exactly.
Well, that's the nice thing about these particular holsters. This is Florida. You will sweat.
That's right.
All of mine are made with a sweat shield in the back of it. That keeps the weapon off of your body.
Yep.
So if there's any fittings or any
Absolutely. I mean, Mike.
adjustments, or any buttons or anything like that are on the gun, it keeps them away from the body, keeps them from rusting. Not only that, but if it does get sweaty, you do get a little bit of lint and stuff down inside these,
Right.
which is common, which does happen because you're wearing it all day long. You take the weapon out, the gun out, the firearm out,
Yeah, that's $2.
you take the firearm out, and then you just merely run it under the sink,
Right.
rinse it out, dry it off,
And there you go.
and you're ready to go
I
again.
mean, the Smith & Wesson, I normally carry a little 380. It's in a little cloth, and yeah, sometimes this gets wet, and you can feel the wetness in it after a day's worth of work. And the last 3 days, I felt no sweatness on that when I took it out, took the firearm out, and the firearm was dry as could be.
That absorbs the sweat and gets all stinky and smelly and everything,
Exactly.
especially with leather. Leather, after you've worn it for a week or so and got a lot of sweat inside of
Know
it.
it.
And let me tell you what, they could probably smell you coming. That's the thing about these. No odor at all, nothing to be absorbed with.
Well, Mike, thank you very much for coming. Anybody that's interested in one of Mike's custom holsters, feel free to give us a call at R&R Firearms at 727-822-7900. We're offering 10% off any of his holsters this week, and we'll continue that sale until next Wednesday for our next show. We're going to take a quick break and introduce what we're doing next week. So we'll see you back in a minute.
R&R Firearms is a retail store located in St. Petersburg, Florida, giving our customers the time and education they need to make buying a firearm a safe and easy transaction. R&R Firearms also provides NRA training courses. Stop by our store in St. Petersburg, Florida at 1411 16th Street North, or visit our website at www.rrfirearms.com. That's rrfirearms.com.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for coming on the show with us today. We have a K-Gun Show shirt that we'd like to present to you for coming on the show. And has the K-Gun Show logo on there. And will it wear it proud for us?
Absolutely, I will. Thank you so very, very much. It's been quite an honor and a pleasure with you, Jeremy.
Thank you very much.
With you, Catherine. Thank you so
it's
very,
been
very
an
much.
honor
It's been a pleasure.
And Catherine, who do we have next week on the K-Gun Show?
Next week we have Lance Bolin, who is an NRA counselor, and we're going to be covering gun myths.
And he's also former military, so we're looking forward to him being on the show. And he's coming from California to be on the K-Gun Show. So we look forward to seeing everybody next week, 8 o'clock, Wednesday night. Thank you very much. We'll see you then.
All righty.
This program was brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization, setting the standard for new media broadcasting.